Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat. A long weekend indeed. We are back. And I have a special guest. My man Benjy's here. A lawyer. He's going to protect me.
Don't say that in public.
Don't say that you're a
Say
lawyer.
that I'm a lawyer in public. No, I don't like
You're
people
wearing a
that-
hat that says law flip. You're fucked.
That's me pretending to have a social, an app that's going to change the world and not be a lawyer anymore.
All right, everyone. We had an action-packed episode and a special guest. I think the big news is the Hamptons, they're dead.
Yeah.
Any one of you can afford a house there now.
Yeah. It's only like 45.
It used to be $1 million a week. Now it's 300.
Yeah. It's cheap.
Cheap.
This is where you pick up a discount.
And unfortunately, Gap, the company I'm betting my entire future on, is just falling apart.
They want the old Kanye, but they don't have the old Kanye.
They don't even know they have Kanye. They didn't mention him in their earnings report. Just blasphemy. And then, of course, we're talking Memorial Day. We're talking stock futures, China lockdowns, and a whole lot more. Let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, everyone. Long weekend, and I lost my two co-hosts. I don't know where they are. I think traveling, enjoying life. So I called in a favor, and we got Benjy Smith here, who ironically was, I think, 5'4's first ever attorney.
Yeah, no, nobody will remember that. I guess you do remember it, but I actually worked on a joint venture between 5'4 and Drama, like the Young and Reckless deal with you guys. And then, I mean, what's crazy is I've known you guys for like 20 plus years back at USC, back when Brian Toll was just like a club promoter.
Yeah.
And I'm like longtime Kathy. You guys have kept me entertained, educated, informed, and it's a long time coming. Super appreciative that you have me on.
Of course. And you're a podcaster.
I am. We can get into it later, but
Let's hear it. What is it?
No, a lot of my whole career, it's like, not to get into this is not going to be a kiss ass fest. Okay. But I do have to give you due credit, because I was for like 10 years, I was a ambitious, hungry, skilled attorney trapped in a miserable lawyer's body. And it's for
What kind of bodies do lawyers have?
Miserable.
Okay.
Just like miserable human beings. Like just absolutely miserable human beings. You know
Were you
lawyers.
at a like a corporate law firm?
I was working with my dad and brother and a couple other attorneys, and we worked on some amazing, crazy cases, really high profile stuff. But like
OJ?
OJ, yeah, I represented OJ. No. But the life of an attorney is generally miserable, because it's, especially people that litigate, is super combative. You've dealt with stuff. It's like, it's insane. And
It's like people who short stocks. They're miserable
sure,
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So long story short, in 2018, I had an itch to get out of being a traditional lawyer. I actually, in your sort of world, I tried to do the sweatpant line back in 2013. I don't know if you remember. It's called Sweat Tailor.
Yeah.
It's actually, I co-founded it on Kickstarter. We did really well. I was doing anything to get the hell out of being a lawyer.
Yeah.
And we raised a bunch of money on Kickstarter. And then I was just having my first kid at the time. So then I ended up like having somebody acquire it from us. Nothing crazy, but it's still going to today. It had actually Mark Sanchez, I think, from USC invested in it.
I just saw Mark the other day.
Yeah. So that happened. I tried to get a job in tech, but I just stayed working in law. And then eventually I started listening to Group Chat. I swear, this is no joke. 2018, I go to one of the meetups.
The first one ever. I remember.
At Petite Taqueria. And it was so much fun. Met so many people. Rhea, Garrett, Richie was there. And I just started to like, I was like, I can't get inspired by lawyers, because lawyers are just miserable people that are not people I want to be like. I have to surround myself around people that are in other industries. So long story short, I like modeled a lot of what I did after you. I got my core business. I started a law firm. So I have Smith Law. We represent employees. I started a podcast called Law Flip where we talk to everybody, including you and anybody who else will talk to us.
Yeah.
Then I started an app where I basically connect lawyers to different lawyers to basically broker cases. It's basically an old industry that needs more efficiency. And then I started like an entrepreneur inspired workout called Motion LA, totally inspired by what you do with Run Club.
That's awesome.
All that being said, I'm basically just modeling my whole life after you. and like, that's a story. I'm really glad to be here.
That's amazing. And we got you drinking some Lo Siento Repo right
Yeah,
now.
you have me pretending to be a man, which is always a nice thing.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. People don't realize how inspiring that can be.
You really, there's no bullshit. I'm not kidding. It's crazy because you're a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have like all these like weird things where like I have like, you're a friend for a long time, nothing close, but like we've always been friendly. Then you're like this podcaster figure that I listen to in my ear. Then like we've been lawyer client type of thing.
Yeah.
Then you've like referred me stuff. It's just been, it's a weird deal. And now I'm here.
Yeah. It's interesting how like, I feel like it's a very like modern relationship people have where like you are engaging with people. For example, like I'll engage with someone on social media, but we also work together.
Right.
And our engagement on social media is so different than our working relationship.
100%.
And it's quite fascinating just to see like how like relationships are developed. And, I'll give you credit for this, which I think a lot of, and don't take this the wrong way, but older people take is like, I do Run Club. I am around all of these young people because like, one, I am more inspired by young people than 100%. I am by anything else.
Yep.
And I also learn the most.
100%.
And so for you to showed up to a meetup, you're probably 38 then, 37?
No. God, I'm old, but not that old. No, I'm 38 now. I was 34 then. No, you're 100% right though.
Yeah, so it's
it
just
took
like
me, you don't understand. I didn't leave my office. Like my dad had a thing. If you're seen outside of the office during lunch, that means people think you're a loser because you're not working hard. Yeah. Like, so going to networking meetings, anything like that, I'm telling you, and I'm not overstating this.
Yeah.
You and the podcast and everything around it truly helped me transform my life.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. And but even for you to take that step, because like when I was like 17 years old, I was going to networking events.
Yeah.
That was just in my blood. Like I wanted to meet everyone. I wanted to learn everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was very natural. Even to this day, I still go to random shit by myself.
I love it.
Because I'm just curious.
But that's the thing is that like for lawyers, you become so complacent. So you're not going to hear that it's not a pity party for lawyers, right?
Yeah.
But
you guys make
so when
money.
I talk, but in the context of people who do well, lawyers are overworked and underpaid. They're not underpaid like a fast food worker, right?
Yeah.
But they are underpaid for that misery that they go through in the law school and all that stuff. So there's a lot of complacency because like I have to just continue doing this job because this is what I like went to school for. And there's not a lot of people who are willing to like shift and make changes. And so part of what helped me do that was listening to podcasts.
That's amazing. What's interesting is like also when you think about careers and kind of how your life goes. I was, this weekend being a long weekend, happy Memorial Day weekend. Thank you for your service to all our military and Navy personnel. That's a very underappreciated thing. I saw someone post today, happy birthday, America. Wrong. There's not that's not Memorial Day. That is honoring all of the fallen soldiers, the men and women who died for the service for this country, which is like, I have like a very soft spot for veterans because one, I'm a pussy. I would never go fight. And I can't imagine those previous generations, the sacrifices, just even being alive in the time when you could get drafted and boom, gone. Your life fucking gone. And you don't know if you're ever coming back. I'm obsessed with World War II, like I'm sure a lot of people are. I've read so many stories. I remember reading so many books when I was a kid, just like I could not believe this was happening. Like the entire world is fighting.
It's crazy.
Like it's just fucking nuts. Especially World War II was just tragic on so many levels. And to think like basically we as Americans, I mean, there's parts of the world. I mean, I read today 30,000 Russian soldiers have died. That's fucking nuts. 30,000? And like, I don't know how many Ukrainians have died, but like, just to think like you as a soldier have no control in your destiny. You so happen to live in a country and you have to go fight.
It's insane.
It's an insane thing. So it's you know, as we all basically headed to the beach today because of all these people that have died in our ability to have freedom, I think it's a very like, especially in like a time like this, it's really funny. I was looking at social media. It felt like conservative people happily, sent their respects, and liberal people just can't.
Yeah.
They just fucking can't because
they view being like pro-American as basically like they feel like Republicans have hijacked
what that means. Yeah, which is really sad because like as a liberal person, like I have like anyone who I was talking to someone the other day for work who was a former Marine, and I was like, damn, I'm just anyone who goes through that experience, honestly, I think they're better. They're just the discipline, the sacrifice you have to make just to do it is just so like, I don't know. It's very honorable, and it's an incredible thing. So I think, you know, what I always think about that on Memorial Day weekend when I'm at the beach enjoying my life because of other people's sacrifice.
And you know, like running a company, people are always like, oh, this company is so great. And you like look under the hood and you're like, Jesus, it's a mess, right?
Yeah.
The fact that like this country is so solid that even though it's run by humans and there's air and all that stuff, that like we don't even feel like there's a chance that there's going to be a problem because our military is so strong.
Yeah. It's tough. And I think like, you know, I see a lot of, you know, unfortunately, like there's been last week's shooting was such a sad reflection of our country. And I think it's hard for people to have pride in a moment like that because we're an anomaly when it comes to that particular type of situation. You know, but when you look at the positives, it still outweighs all the negative. And I think it's hard for people in general to just appreciate, despite how difficult the last 2 years have been. There's still a lot of hope. There's a lot of promise. And unfortunately, obviously last week happened and it's extremely sad and you can't change the result of that. But I have a lot of faith that despite all the challenges in America, that like in general, America still feels like the most hopeful place and that it has the most kind of opportunity for change. Whereas a lot of other countries, and you know, I have friends in mainland China. I have friends in India. I have friends.
Is there anywhere you don't have friends?
Yeah, honestly, there's not. I can't even remember
Every
the
podcast,
last
you're
time.
like, I have friends in here. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I feel like I know people. This is insane.
I don't think I've ever been to a country and not known somebody. And South America, you name it, I know somebody there. And when I think about like what those people's like stories are, and I think about our stories, you know, I think we're still in a very privileged situation. And what's interesting is like we were in Orange County this weekend with the kids, and I'm on obviously it's Orange County, so
little market town.
Yeah, I'm looking at a guy walking his dog, like, you know, like a buff, like meathead guy. Socialism sucks. I love America. And what sucks about it is that, like, generally speaking, we all, like 90% of most people's beliefs are the same.
Yeah.
It's these like 3-4 topics that just drive each other absolutely fucking nuts. Which really, really, like, I think genuinely speaking, everyone's like, you should be a good person. You should be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should be happy. Like, the fundamentals of being an American, like excellency and like striving, hardworking, I think that's pretty common amongst everyone, but I just like, I don't know, when I'm like seeing people, I don't even like want to interact with any stranger because I don't know what I'm going to get into. And I'm not ready for that shit right now.
I saw a lot of that at the LA County Fair. I mean, that's,
Oh, wow.
Let me tell you something. By the way, lifetime Los Angeles native.
First of all, it's not in LA County.
It's not in LA County. It's like in Pomona. But let me tell you, I've never been there before. It is amazing.
Okay.
It is fried.
Yeah, everything's fried.
Everything's fried.
Including your skin.
Yeah. But there is definitely like, you know, some like really scary looking dudes that like have pictures of guns on their shirts. And it's like, I was pushing my kid in a stroller and I bumped somebody and I thought it was one of those dudes.
Yeah.
I was scared as hell.
So sorry.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm so sorry. So sorry. And he's like, no, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I'm like, want to get out of their way. But by the way, everybody should go to the LA County Fair. It's insane. It's disgusting. It's amazing.
Oh, okay. That's good. Good to know. I mean, look, I think the weekend is the long weekend, especially with kids, is also interesting. We haven't done a lot as a family of 4. We've done a lot as a family of 3. And then when our youngest came, it was during COVID.
Yeah.
So we stopped doing anything. So our youngest really hasn't done anything. Seen people, like met people, been anywhere.
Right.
He has never stayed in a hotel.
Wow.
And he's almost 2 years old. Whereas our oldest, we took him all over the world.
Yeah.
And so this weekend was our first weekend where we took him too. And kind of it was pretty cool. Like it was exhausting, but it was really fun. And I don't know, like these long weekends when I was younger, I would literally leave the country, like just travel, live like my Fantasyland life. And the last thing I want to do is hop on a plane with them.
Oh my God. It is
the
totally
idea,
insane.
Someone's like, where are you guys going this summer? I was like, I don't know, fucking Santa Barbara. I mean, as far as north we'll go. Yeah. Like, we're not hopping on a plane. And neither do the kids want to. They don't know. No. They don't care.
You, like you said in another episode, you could take them down to a park and you could tell them it's Disneyland and they would think Disneyland.
Yeah, and like I couldn't tell you how excited our oldest was to be in a hotel room with all of us. He doesn't recall as a kid, when he was young, a baby, but like he was like, I just want to stay in a hotel forever with you guys. And I was like, damn.
Room service?
Not even. He just wanted to like all sleep together.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun and he had like the best time and I didn't sleep because
you always check the room rates. Like I feel like you always check the roommates. How are the roommates looking right now?
They were, I would say they were on the higher end, not the highest I've seen. Nothing was sold out anywhere. Everything had rooms. The actual hotels felt crowded. We ended up at Javier's in Orange County.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What's going on there? Maybe
10,000 people. I mean, absolute madness. The amount of people, and it was my 2 kids, my wife, my friend, his wife, and their 2 kids, 2 boys, 4 boys. His place is loud as shit. They're screaming. It's one of their kids' birthdays. It was fucking chaos.
I need to know something. I'm going to ask a question as a Kathy for the Kathys out there. Like, we listen.
Okay.
I've been around you, you know, you basically get to live and go to a lot of great things.
Yeah.
But like on a casual night, when you're not going to an H-Wood event, do you have to, like a normal person, call and make a reservation? Or do you hit somebody up that knows somebody at Javier's?
Bingo.
Which one is it?
The latter. Someone
do you ever like, so like you're at the point where you don't enter into a place until you're welcome with.
I'll go to like Mel's Diner. Okay. But that's like Saturday at 4:00, right? Like I just don't like when I don't see the need on like a Saturday night to go, even if I had a reservation, to go to a restaurant where I do not know somebody. I know how you get treated. I see my friends how they treat random fucking people. Why would I want to be that person?
So how do you explain this? You're like Javier's in Orange County. Who do you know?
So my friend made the reservation, and my friend I went with, there's no fucking way we're waiting 6 seconds. Like I knew he was like, "Where do you want to eat?" And I was like, I don't know. I mean, all I know is Javier's.
How far does it extend? So, like, is it just food? Like, what other experiences do you not enter into without a connection?
It's everything. It's everything.
Just the people need to know. Give a couple examples.
It's Disneyland, you name it. Like, I didn't go, kids, but like, here's the thing: is like something like a restaurant reservation is something that money can't buy. Unless you spend, you're like, I'm renting out the whole fucking place.
It's that Michael Jordan theory. It's like he's the person that needs the hookup the least, but he gets everything in the best way for free.
Yeah,
you're Michael Jordan at this point.
I have to ask. I'm calling in favors. I'm like, yo, I really, really need this reservation. I don't want to wait here. We're not coming otherwise. It's just, I think it's more of a function of like, I have, compared to I'm the most, of my friends, I'm like one of the least connected.
You have the this has been talked about. You have the craziest friend group ever.
Yeah.
Like your friend group. I mean, the fact that you could say that you're one of the least whatever.
Yeah. I mean, like if I'm going to a restaurant, like I think in 2 weeks we have to go to New York for a meeting, and I'm calling someone else for the favor for the restaurant res. That I was like, this is where we need to eat. We want to be here at this time. Like, can you make it happen? But it's also like strategic. People don't put the time and effort to like, you never know when I'll meet someone that goes, if you ever need anything in Denver, this is your guy. I'll be like, all right, I might need something in Denver one time. Give me your number.
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to the Denver guy.
But like, you need to go to a restaurant. You don't know anybody that has the hookup specifically at that restaurant. Do you send a group chat to like,
yes.
Who knows? Okay.
That's what we'll do. We'll literally be like, who knows someone at this restaurant in XYZ city?
Look, I'm somebody who's resourceful and I'm good at getting things done, but I see you doing it at a higher level. So this is why you always want to be the dumbest person in the room. And I'm just asking for the people out there because they want to know.
You got to ask. You always got to ask. And I think you got to be very future looking.
Yeah.
Like I remember one time there was a guy who's like, ever in Punta del Este, this is the man. And then 1 year I was in Punta del Este, I hit him up and he was like, I got you.
That's amazing.
I was like, 5 years later, I ran into this guy. But I think it's just people, it's like, you got to be so like, and I'll give you, there's a friend of mine, I don't want to mention his name, but I remember 10, 12 years ago, he was on the alumni board. He went to a very prominent LA high school, private high school. And he was on the alumni board. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he was talking like in his 20s on like, a weeknight grinding it out on the alumni board. And he's like, trust me, when we all have kids, all you guys are going to be fucking kissing my ass.
He's at Harvard Westlake for sure.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning the school. But like he, forward looking, what is more important when you have children in LA or New York City or San Francisco than having a connect at a school?
100%.
Nothing. There's literally, my restaurant res is worth zero if my kid can't get into the right school. Zero.
It's so true.
So, all right, we'll get into some news.
By the way, big shout out to Andres. He's the longtime OG who originally I think I connected with. He's your longtime partner.
Yeah, old 20-year business partner. Crazy. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get into, speaking of like things that you should be future planning for. Mm-hmm. The last 7 days in France were basically the hottest 7 days to be in Europe. You had the Cannes Movie Film Festival, and then you had Amphar, which is just, I don't even know what the charity is, but the party is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you had F1. All happened. I'm not a big FOMO person. I never have FOMO. People go do amazing things, live these incredible lives. I'm at my home, my kids, the last couple of years. I don't have FOMO. This past weekend, I shot myself with FOMO. I was like, fucking hate everyone who's at F1. I hate everyone that went to the H Wood Revolve Amphar party.
Dude, those guys are on a circuit.
Oh,
I
man.
mean,
And like everyone just looks good. Everyone looks rich. Everyone looks good looking. Like good looking and rich. I don't care what you believe in. That shit's hot.
It's very hot.
Very hot. When you're just like, especially the guy, you know, like obviously the girls always look good. Like they dress up. Girls know how to dress. Guys with their tuxes, you know, nicely groomed. I was like, man, I'm fucking jealous.
Is there anybody who's living a better life than Zach Bia right now?
No, I saw him DJing on his Instagram on like a yacht in Central Bay.
It's like unbelievable. People hate on it. I'm like,
I actually, do they really hate on it?
Of course, I don't. I'm like, how do I rewind time and become Zach Bia?
I don't even want to be Zach Bia. I want to be Zach Bia's friend.
Yeah. It's
too much pressure to be Zach Bia. Zach Bia always has to be cool, nice, friendly. I'd rather be his sidekick.
Yeah.
Zach Bia's sidekick is the best job.
100%. But yeah, it's hot out there.
It is like, so, I mean, South of France was absolutely on fire the last 7 days. Epitome, and like, I'm not, with the exception of the H Wood Revolve event, I'm not going to speak on anyone else who was there, but that shit looked, so Cannes Film Festival is like one of the biggest movie film festivals where like, if you are a movie producer or director, you submit your movie, you get accepted, you screen your movie, and then people bid on it. I think Netflix bid on I think they had bought the biggest movie. I forgot who it was. They paid $50 million for the movie. And they have like this epic red carpet, and it's like, it's very chic, very posh. It's out of this world. Then it slides into Amphar, which is a charity, which, like I said, I have no idea what it is, but it, always known for having the most epic party, the most epic people. It's at Hotel du Cap, which in the south of France is probably the best hotel, the most epic pool view. H Wood and Revolve threw a party. If you saw the pool, like it had their logos, which is it's insane because like a month ago they kind of conquered Coachella, the duo. Then they do that party, and if you like follow that, we always used to joke, if you're fortunate enough and you have the money, and you're doing everything from Sundance, Super Bowl, Ultra, Coachella, then this weekend in France, July 4th, Hamptons, Paris Fashion Week, Art Basel. It's the same fucking people, right? Like, it's just the same awesome people just living their awesome lives. And I was watching social media, and I was like, man, FOMO on 100, and then Formula One, which I've never watched. I don't even know anything about it. I know who Lewis Hamilton is. I love him. He seems like a great guy. And then everyone went to Formula One this year because nobody actually went to Formula One before.
Right.
People talked about it, but no one went. But because of the Netflix show, it's so popular. I didn't follow. Do you follow Formula One?
No. It's one of those things I never understood. I've never understood it.
Yeah. So I had a lot of friends actually go. They're posting the races. They're like, Max von Frustenberg, whatever. And then I see who wins. I don't remember the guy's name. I forgot his name. But the team that won was Red Bull. Let me ask you a question. I don't know anything about racing. Why the fuck is the energy drink winning?
You gotta be up.
I mean, Ferrari, Mercedes. I don't even know what kind of car. But what is this guy? He puts energy drinks in his fucking fuel tank, and he won.
He needs energy to drive.
I literally was like, how can Formula One allow a guy with an energy drink car win?
Do you drink energy? You know, do you energy drink or coffee?
I drink coffee.
So can you drive without coffee?
Can I drive without coffee? Yes, I can drive without coffee.
Right, well, he can't drive. He can't drive without energy drinks.
Yeah, I mean, I could not believe that the winner, the team. I went and looked just to see. I really went to look if Lewis Hamilton won because that's who I know. And then I go look, and I'm like,
who knew that Red Bull was even still popping?
I mean, I'm sure the car itself is. I'm gonna get hammered tomorrow. Oh, Red Bull drives a Ferrari, blah blah, Italian-made chassis. Like, dude, no one knows what that shit is. Like, there's like 12 people know what's under that car.
No, but who really is Red Bull still a drink that people drink?
Yeah. The youth drink it.
Yeah, you guys.
I mean, 10 years
Ariane,
ago,
you drink Red Bull?
Sure, why not?
10 years ago, I was 31 years old. I would slog down a Monster or a Red Bull every day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was in my 30s. I was drinking Red Bull and Monster.
Okay, fair enough.
Both those brands used to stock our fridges with so much sugar-free whatever. And, Red Bull had like the 1 gallon of energy, whatever they used to give you. But nevertheless, great weekend. Look, unfortunately, we're in a recession. But
oh, yeah, that too.
If we weren't in a recession, this is the place to be.
Yeah.
And I never have FOMO over anything, but I just saw, I think it's like, I think also part of it is like getting dressed up, shaving, combing your hair, getting clean shoes. There's something about like how everyone looked, and which is very in line with what's happening at retail right now. Like most things athleisure and active like have slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that you keep reading is that people are peacocking, people want to dress up, people want to be out. So to see that happen in pictures, and
that's because you're a parent and like you've been stuck for a few years doing nothing.
Yeah.
And there's nothing further from what you're doing than getting dressed up and feeling like, and
being at the South of France at Hotel du Cap and being like, we ain't even supposed to be here. But yeah. Well, anyways, congratulations to Red Bull.
Huge win.
Your guys' energy drink clearly fuels cars as well. All right, let's go into some really big news. I've been waiting for this piece of news for a month. Beijing and Shanghai will reopen on Wednesday. Woo! Have you been following this?
I know from you guys, I know that there's like 100+ million people that are still on shutdown, they're still on lockdown, and I've been waiting for the news that they're coming out of it.
I mean, Shanghai and Beijing, have you ever been there?
No, and I know you guys were there all the time over the past 20 years.
These cities are so fucking big.
Yeah.
To imagine Shanghai shut down, I can't even, like, they have...
How many times you been?
20.
Yeah. How would you rank, like, objectively, how would you say they are to go to?
I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah.
So for food, 1 to 0. Shanghai has like, for example, John George has like literally a building with 3 amazing restaurants, a casual American burger spot, fine dining Italian, and a casual like Italian place. And I would eat every meal there. Because I can't eat like seafood infused rice. Like, I just won't eat it. And even when, and most of the factories we'd visit would be in the outskirts, I'd be like, I'm vegetarian. And they would just give me like a pizza with ham.
Have you ever considered not being a vegetarian anymore?
No. I considered it as a kid.
Yeah.
Because it was, 1, very inconvenient. 2, I thought it would affect my health or my growth, but the doctors always told me like it won't, so don't worry about it. Now I just think I'm better than everyone. Like you don't have the discipline I have. You're a weaker human being because you have to eat meat.
Or you also might be really fearful about not eating meat, and that's why you're doing. Maybe it's not so much discipline.
I think it's just half these companies are serving horse. I'm not trying to eat horse.
That's true. All right. So what happened? So they're opening back up.
They're reopening. Cases have dropped to below 100, which is the lowest it's been since March. This means China is fully back. And one of the catalysts, in my opinion, to get the country back on track, and I'm talking, forget China, get America back on track, is good news.
Yeah.
And I thought this was an amazing piece of news because this means COVID in China, to me, was always stretched out way too long. And given I saw some statistic like largest number of cases over this weekend, but it hasn't affected our behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, like, confidence and the way that people are acting is a big part of like how you need to kind of create that momentum in the economy. And to see that in China, they're finally on the track of like reopening. Let's get this back.
Yeah.
Let's get things back going. I think will give a lot of confidence because factories will reopen. Hopefully there'll be some supply chain relief and things will get back to normal on the China side. Because whether you like it or not, we need China fully functional for our country to run. Like if you think about it in a car, it's 2 gears and like China's 1 gear, we're the other. That's the whole world.
We're relying on you for this information. The whole group chat people said, okay, thank you.
But I mean, if China is not fully functional, I mean, think about how many shortages you're hearing.
Like, I hear you. I believe it. I rely on you for this information. So thank you.
Yeah, I just can't believe so instantly this news gets released this afternoon. Dow, NASDAQ futures fucking explode.
Yeah.
Explode.
Yeah.
Then the EU comes out and says they want to further ban more Russian oil. Oil prices shoot up. Dow futures, NASDAQ future, down. What the fuck, EU?
That just happened?
This just happened. On my way here. I'm listening to the news and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why are you guys, what are you doing? Let the oil flow, guys. We can't, here's the thing people don't understand. It's very easy to be righteous and say and I remember watching a lot of these political thriller movies when I was younger, and I'd be so mad at them. Like, I can't believe they're doing that just to save the republic or blah, 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 just nonsense. And now being an adult and seeing the impact financial things have on regular life.
You want them to lie a little bit to make it just work.
Yeah, because here's the reality. Oil prices, I think crude oil shot up to 118 today. That means gas prices are going up this week and next week. And so, I was reading an article in the Wall Street Journal about don't be surprised about $10 oil or $10 gas. $10 gas. Dude, it's devastating for this country.
Insane.
We are a driving country.
I just filled up my girl's tank, $160.
Wow. You're rich. Lawyers. Look at that lawyer alive. I got 160, babe. Whatever you want.
I got caught up in a TikTok. I don't know if you saw this. I think I sent it to you. This video has now been viewed, I think 6 million times, where they interviewed people at the Beverly and La Cienega place.
Oh, the rip off. Yeah. $7.
I'm in it and I'm jokingly saying buy electric, don't buy gas. I have been crucified on the internet by tens of thousands of people.
Why?
Because I said, buy electric, don't buy gas on that video with this guy. Yeah, it's nuts.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I look at that. It's very easy for EU to go and ban Russian oil and not look at the global impact of that decision.
We need people to start lying to get
Yeah, because here's the thing is I get it. You want to cripple Russia. If they truly believe these are the last moments before Russia gives up, and we're call it 60 days away from crippling Russia, then maybe I can get we can all stomach 60 more days of this. But what's going to happen if this continues for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months? I was also reading lumber prices have dropped 52%. I remember 6 months ago, rolling around with the truck full of lumber was the hottest thing. Now it's worthless. Everything is plummeting. We have a shortage in everything. I heard on the radio this morning
Who listens to the radio, by the way?
I love the radio.
Wow.
I actually, in the car, I listen to the radio. There's something like simpleton about just listening to the regular radio and just hearing what people have to talk about.
AM or FM?
Just FM radio.
Okay.
You know, they'll do a news break on FM radio. Lifeguard shortage. Lifeguard shortage. Do you know what that means? People are going to drown this summer.
Do people your age know what FM or AM is?
Do you guys listen to the radio?
Yeah, but not that much.
What radio station do you listen to?
102.7, 105.9, 103.5. Sure.
Okay.
I've been listening to
97
105.9 and 102.7 and 98.7 and 104.3 and 103.5 for 35 years.
Yeah,
They're like ingrained in my head.
now it's just Spotify because
Yeah.
Spotify like gives you like the way that Facebook ads just know everything about you. Spotify algorithms just know what songs you're gonna love.
So I love the music selection of Spotify. What I want is I basically want to hear someone like me breaking up the music. I don't want to hear nonstop music. I want to hear some breakup. But the problem with terrestrial radio is you can't be yourself.
Right.
So, you know, there are people that are a little edgier and a little more thoughtful, more interesting. But like when you're listening to like, we're going to prank call grandma. And I'm like, what?
Right.
Ryan's Roses? That's just fake. It's been fake. And like people
It's amazing that like the general population goes for that.
Yeah, like, oh, wait, you're not going to send roses to your wife? Well, what do you mean? You mean the whole country is listening to you not send roses to your
How
wife?
does he even have energy for that? He must be so rich at this point. How does he even like
It's so much money. He's like, whatever, we're going to fake these people cheating on their life. What the fuck do I care? But imagine if Ryan Seacrest, which I've hung out with in like a private setting, was himself. He's fucking epic. If
Is
he
he
was
really?
himself. Yes, of course. He's a regular ass dude. He just wants to talk shit. He
That's
needs to be
amazing.
like, I remember I saw him once at a nightclub and he just randomly
Is
has
he
a
like
tape.
you know when Billy, what's his guy's name who got caught?
Billy Bush.
Billy Bush on the Trump tape where he's talking like
Yeah.
dirty talk with
Yeah.
locker room talk with
Yeah.
Trump. Is that basically Ryan?
Yeah, I mean,
Seacrest?
he wasn't like vulgar or anything, but he was just like a regular ass dude.
Yeah.
And he can't be that person on the radio,
Yeah.
which sucks. That to me, because like to 25 songs in a row is too many songs.
Yeah.
I sit in a lot of traffic. I want to hear like a little commentary. A little commentary. I don't need to hear a lot. Problem is like when you listen to regular radio, the commentary is like, depends on this. The morning shows are pretty interesting,
Mhm.
but like 3 p.m., you know, they got the idiot on at 3 p.m. It's not funny.
I have not listened to radio in a long time.
I
but
like
yeah.
it. I like the concept of breaking up the music.
Yeah.
4 or 5 songs, give me some commentary, tell me a story about Billie Eilish, whatever. I don't give a shit. Billie Eilish loves bean and cheese burritos. She used to go to this bean and cheese spot in Highland Park. You should go check it out. They have a great red sauce. Give me that.
Yeah.
I'd say, I don't like that burrito place. It sucks. You give me that 30 seconds before the next song, I'm happy. But instead, it's like some corny ass shit.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. It's been a long weekend. You want to know what? You asked me what time I wake up. Do you know what time I woke up today?
4:55.
2:45.
Oh my God. You
I've
really
been
are.
up
You
since
really are an animal.
2:45. I should do morning radio. That's what time you wake up. You know the morning show, Jennifer Aniston's waking up at like 3:30. I could do that. I could do a morning radio show and get to work.
You're one of the most like fascinating, productive. I don't even understand what the hell you do.
It's tequila.
Yeah.
All right. So Luna, have you been following Luna?
I just know that it got crushed, right? It was worth like $40 billion and it got crushed.
It went to zero. So the founder created Luna 2.0, somehow got it listed on other crypto.
The first one wasn't enough fun.
Yeah. Got it listed on other exchanges, kind of like peripheral ones. I think Binance is going to list it today. It's down 75%.
I saw that. Yeah.
And the thing that I don't get is like the reason why people love crypto and what it represents is that it's decentralized and it's in the people's control. When you think about the backlash you've seen with this is like, who's going to get arrested? Who is going to regulate this? If that's what we're doing, fuck crypto. US dollar is stable. The last year, US dollar is still the most stable currency out there. So I have a hard time, like, you don't want regulation if you want crypto. You don't want a centralized body of government or body telling people, like, you're okay with scams.
You know what I want with crypto?
What?
Money.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been happening.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't been. The money has been going down.
But that's like, you have to be comfortable with Ian from Ledger always says the volatility is not a bug, it's a feature. And so if that's what you want, then unfortunately, the Luna collapse is so sad because I've peripherally, I don't know anyone, but I know a lot of people that lost money and a lot of money, but I heard people have committed suicide. I have heard some pretty tragic things happen. And this is unfortunately the result of, like, if you play with fire, like there's a saying, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And that's the problem with playing with this type of stuff. Like Ian says it, you should put 1% of your portfolio, maybe 10 if you're young and you're high risk. No, these people are putting 400%. They're not doing 1%. They're not doing 10%. If you have, to put things in perspective, if you have $100 to invest, what Ian is saying is you should put $1.
Right.
Not 200.
Right.
And I think that's what concerns me. And look, unfortunately, things have wiped out. A lot of projects have wiped out in the NFT space. My hope is that people get educated. The problem is whenever there's a boom in anything, everyone jumps on it.
You know a ton of people.
Yeah.
Of all the people that you know that are real people that are investing in NFTs, let's just go with NFTs, not crypto. Like, what percentage of them have gotten crushed? And what percentage of them have made a bunch of money?
A lot of people, a lot of money, made a lot of money, but 100% of the people got crushed. No one exited completely. Like very few people have it's another thing with FOMO with investing. If you're really disciplined and you made money and you're like, oh, I made a lot of money, I should say goodbye. That's not what happens.
Right.
I should make more money.
Right.
And if you look at the best investors in the world, they walk away.
Yeah.
And they don't have FOMO.
They were too busy at Cannes and they had to make sure that they did it every year for the next 50 years.
Yeah, exactly. And then the thing is like the best, when you listen to like a lot of these podcasts about investing, the best funds in the world return like 20-something% a year. So if you did better than that, you won.
Yeah.
You don't need to do 5,000% every year. You do better than 20-something% a year, you're like one of the best fund managers in the world. And if you know how money compounds, you will be a very wealthy person, no matter what dollar amount you start with. And I think that's the challenge, is that and I think social media exacerbates it, because like you'll see like Joey put $15 and made 73 million and he's 11. And you're like, fuck. I remember what happened to all those little 11-year-olds that was Joey made a lot. These little Indian kids that were fucking making $25,000 an hour on NFTs. Guess what? They're back at recess. They're eating their Cheez-Its and their Capri Suns. That's what's happening. So I just think people can't help themselves. They're just absolutely filled with FOMO.
Yep.
All right. I have FOMO on this one. I have a big plan for the Gap. I laid it out on group chat. I said,
this is the opposite of Peloton for you.
It is.
Gap is
I truly believe, and I think it's going to happen. It's just going to take time. I think they should shut down Banana Republic, which shockingly reported 24% growth in comp sales, which is absolutely bananas.
yeah, but where was it coming from? It was a huge decline.
It was a huge decline. Old Navy double-digit down. Athleta grew single digits, and Gap was down, I think, as well. Here's the thing. I read the transcripts of the earning calls. I didn't read every single word, but I did not see one time did the CEO mention Kanye or Yeezy Gap.
It's a mistake.
There's nothing this company is doing that anyone gives a fuck about except that. They had a Kanye Balenciaga drop that were supposed to do this week. They delayed because of the shooting. And if you go on StockX and GOAT, on the homepage of both those sites is Kanye Gap stuff. It's clearly resonating with the consumer. And they don't talk about it. And Gap, Old Navy is struggling. There's an article on a Wall Street Journal that says inclusive sizing hurt Old Navy. Too many sizes. Trying to please everybody. The one thing in fashion that I've learned is don't listen to your customer. Because they're not going to spend money with you just because they said they would. And so they went and built this inclusive sizing, which I would assume everything from really small to really big, and that crushed their inventory supply. Because what's the likelihood of all of these people purchasing from you directly? And I think so they released earnings on Thursday after the bell. Friday, the stock is down 20% in the morning.
Jeez.
I'm trading their options. I'm crushed. Absolutely crushed. I don't know what happens. The stock ends up trading 51 million shares, ends up at the end of the day. And it looks like everyone who was shorting it covered their short and the stock went up. And I was like, oh my God, all my shit was up. And I thought I was like, this fucking loser company can't get their shit together. When they turned it around, I don't know what happened. This is the fascinating thing with investing is that like it actually is no reflection of your actual results. GameStop had like a record week.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
I'm sticking with my girl Roxy. I have a financial planner friend, Roxy Madahi. Shout out to her. I'm trusting in her. Just like as Buffett says.
Are you up or down?
Right now I'm down. I'm down. But she's got all sorts of charts showing that, no matter what happens,
everything goes up and to the right?
It goes up to the right.
This is what you do. All you do is zoom out the timeline. Everything looks like it's up.
Yeah. She's amazing. I've gotten great advice from her, but the market is, we're just so used to good times. Yeah. Since basically, slowly from 2008 to now, it's like
after 2008, we've basically had the best times ever.
Yeah. Doesn't matter who's in office. It just has gone up.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to more of that.
Well, you're not, because the Hamptons summer rental market is kind of slow.
Yeah.
Hamptons to me sets the perfect reflection of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Like if the Hamptons are slow, I don't know. I don't feel good when the Hamptons are slow. I want those people to be rich, and I want them to be happy, and I want them to be living their best life. I know people hate their guts, and as someone that's been there, they throw great parties.
Wonderful parties. Great people.
I love all of them. And I don't like that the rental market in the Hamptons are down.
Yeah, they're getting, like severely down.
Severely down. And some people are saying it's partly due that a lot of folks are traveling this summer and not staying in the Hamptons.
Because a lot of those folks in the Hamptons hunkered down in the Hamptons for the last few years. Yeah. And they want to bounce. But why is that? So I guess there's so much inventory that there's so many people that are putting it on the market to lease.
So some owners are slashing their prices by 30% to fill their properties.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're higher than normal, but 30%.
Give the people context. What are we talking? So it must be what, like 10 grand a month for a house and
let's talk about it. There's a $70,000 a month waterfront rental.
Okay.
Now it's cheap, $45,000.
Oh, it's a discount. Okay.
And it's still not rented.
Yeah. But there's a crazier one that I saw. It was like, I think it was $1 million a month. Did you see that one? There's one that's there. There's one that is going for $300,000 a week.
Oh yeah,
a week.
That's a lot.
What's your net worth have to be to spend $300,000 in a week?
In crypto, 250,000. You own one Bored Ape. You're like, fuck it, give me that house for 3 days. I'm good.
Oh,
unfortunately, what you quickly realize is the people, because I've got to be around a lot of that, and I'd be like, man, that guy's so rich. He's not.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't have any money. He spent it all in these 2 weeks in the Hamptons.
Man, I don't know how to justify that type of spending.
Yeah, I mean, at those types of prices, like in this market, I would assume you're Arab because you come from oil, or you're from Texas, you come from oil. If you're in the oil industry, you're having a great summer. You're printing money. You love the EU just banned Russian oil. The Saudis love it. They're printing cash. Every American fund has to go kiss Saudis' money after like berating them for 5 years about Khashoggi. Is now going to go beg them for money. Like, talk about hypocrisy, but whatever. What do I care? You guys do whatever the fuck you want.
Just invite me back to the Hamptons.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we'll just be at your Hamptons house for the party. But it's just ridiculous. Like, they're the only people with money.
Yeah.
All right. Well, last topic. Are you on BeReal? You're a big social media guy.
I hate social media, but you see my face on social media because I do it because I think that it's helpful to business. But Ariane, who you stole as a producer from me, talked about BeReal like a couple episodes ago, and I downloaded it today because I knew we were going to talk about it. It's weird, but it's pretty decent.
It's the best social media app.
Is it really?
I'll tell you why I like it. Is that it notifies you at a random time, and then you have 2 minutes to take and post a picture before it's marked as late. You have 2 minutes.
So what's the consequence of you being late?
You're just penalized as it's not. You're not actually penalized, but it just says you're late.
Okay.
But I think the cool thing about it is that it's raw, and that's what's missing. And I think that's why Snapchat is still so popular. Is that it's the rawness of social media is that what made it. Like when Instagram story first launched, and Snapchat story for like the younger kids, but for adults, Instagram stories was like this like raw moment that everyone was living in, and it was so engaging.
That's true. It's just so curated. Like now Instagram is so curated. It's just
exactly. So no one cares. But this app launched, I think, 2 years ago. Now a top 20 app. You post this raw moment. You have 2 minutes. And I think it's addicting because you have 2 minutes. If you don't post, you're marked as late, which Snapchat has its streaks. And it's a very clever hook. And then if you don't post it on your profile page with all the dates, it shows a blank picture. So it says you didn't post that day. What were you doing that day that you didn't post?
That's so funny.
So I actually think from a psychological standpoint, it's actually quite addicting.
And it's brilliant because it's like, from their perspective, all they need you to do is log on one time a day. That's all they needed you for in the first place. And I'm kind of like, well, how are they going to get the action from you if you're only if you post once a day, that's enough for them.
If you post once a day and then all of your friends are probably on it all day, like that would be really interesting. And that's part of my struggle today with social media is that like I basically have stopped posting with the exception of like pictures of my kids, because I just I don't know. I don't like the upside or downside of posting social media. So I don't care if like you saw me and my family at dinner at, you know, Mel's Diner. Like if you,
I don't.
it's
Yeah,
just
I
no
don't.
point.
Every time I'm about to post, I'm like, I'm on some great trip, and I'm about to. Why am I posting this?
Yeah.
What the hell is
Yeah.
in it for anybody?
Yeah.
Arian, why do we like BeReal?
I mean, Dee covered a lot of it. You can't put any filters on. Takes a photo from both lenses, right? So it's like what you're looking at and yourself. Photos are only up there for 24 hours, much like Snap. Reactions, right? So like there are no likes. All people can do is take a photo of themselves and react to your photo. So it kind of like gets rid of like any words or any like bullying or anything like that. You're not on it at all because like the UI is not something that is like making you like stay on that app for like an hour and a half. Like you hop on for like 10 minutes a day, you take your photo, you scroll through everybody else's photo, and that's it.
Does this have a chance of being like a real app? Like
I think it is a real app. I think particularly for people in their 20s, like everybody has it.
I mean, I think if I can get back to a social media presence where it was people that I actually was connected to, that wasn't, I don't even have a problem with the people that follow me, because you obviously like are interested in, it's everybody else. And maybe I just have to go private, and that's just how I have to react. But like, you know, I just don't want people that don't follow me or don't know me or are interested in me to know what the fuck I'm doing.
Have you had any like weird experiences, or it's just like you started to think about it?
Yeah, I'm just, you know, I think it's a combination of, like, I was out of town this weekend. I don't want anyone to know I'm out of town. I don't want anyone to know. People know where I live.
Right.
I don't want people to.
Right.
So
I know with kids, I think I think a lot of it is driven by us having kids and just like, what are we doing?
yeah, like I will text my friends, like, oh, here's Dominic and Miles at the pool.
Right.
Like, I'll just send them that picture. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
I'll send 3 people the picture.
Yeah.
And I took as many pictures as I normally do this weekend. My friends took a bunch of pictures. We all shared it in our group chat amongst each other.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, I sent it to my mom. I sent it to my in-laws. And like the 20 people that I wanted to see that picture got to see it. And that's it. But yeah, it sucks because I actually didn't mind sharing it always. And I think now it's just, we've gotten back like completely the other way. Well, I'm even shocked this app is actually working, because I actually think it's going to go back to like, no one's going to share shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I think the coolest thing is not to share what you're doing. It's actually just to like ignore the rest of society and just live your life.
I have posts going out every day for my law firm, my podcast or whatever. I almost never post because I just don't think it's interesting or fun or anything.
I don't even think it like that. I actually don't mind, and like I enjoy the engagement, and I think about the downside versus the upside on everything I do, and I was like, okay, what's the upside of doing this versus what's the downside of doing it?
It's an energy too. Like you're putting out a certain energy, and I don't know. I don't know.
And it sucks because like I enjoy social media. I like seeing everyone live their life. It's fun to me. I hate food pics. They're disgusting. And most people's food is just gross. But like, other than that, like, except for that, I actually genuinely enjoy like, oh, you're hanging with your kids, you're hanging with your friends, you're at the beach, you're biking, you're hiking, going for a walk. I don't give a shit what song you're listening to, whatever. I'm interested. I actually am interested. But there's too much like, I don't know. It's the upside downside thing that I always think about. I was like, too much downside.
I hear that. That's why I just go to TikTok.
TikTok's hot, huh?
Yeah, it's so good.
I don't actually consume TikTok is my problem.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
I'll occasionally watch like, like a hot song, dance, whatever. And then I watch 3 and I'm like, it's everyone doing the same dance? Everyone should do a different dance to the same song. I guess people just enjoy like everyone's interpretation of that same dance.
Yeah, 100%. If there's a good one, I'll watch over and over and over again.
All right, everyone.
You did it.
We're all done. Benjy, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great way to finish off an amazing weekend, and I appreciate it. On behalf of all the Kathys, we appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. On that note, we will see you maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. We're going to figure it out. All right, everyone. Have a great week.